Alrighty, guys, we're back for Surprise Witness, and this is a Murders at Karlov Manor Standard brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked. Rockin' 3, call the Surprise Witness. This is a 2-mana sorcery speed. Return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Put a flying counter on it. Okay, it's a spirit in addition to its other types. Dude, that flying counter could really go a long way on specific creatures like Adeline, for example. Okay, we got 3 Adelines in here we wouldn't mind cheating out with Surprise Witness. Putting flying on it, that's just icing on the cake. We have other terrific 3-drop creatures, all 4 Monastery Mentors. A 3-mana 2/2 with prowess, and whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 white monk creature token with prowess, so a terrific way to go wide. Obviously, Adeline is a terrific way to go wide too, but I mean, Monastery Mentor can really pop off, dude. And then all the monks that spawn with it also have the prowess, so that's pretty wild stuff. We have another 3-drop, Delney Streetwise Lookout. This is a 3-mana 2/2 legendary creature. Creatures you control with power 2 or less can't be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater. Okay. So it also has, if an ability of a creature you control with power 2 or less triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. I'm interested to see how much that's actually going to do in here, because what that could end up doing is like activating Monastery Mentor's ability the first time it activates for the turn 2 times. So you get a couple monks for the first time. After that, the prowess goes off, so it'll be a 3/3, so it wouldn't activate twice, right? Same concept if like it's out there alone with Adeline and you get a swing. Adeline would be a 2/4 at that point, and then you would activate the ability twice, getting 2 humans. That sounds actually pretty interesting, right? Or like maybe it's the first time you're activating Illuminator Virtuoso. Yep, we got all 4 of them in here. It's a 2-mana, 1/1 with double strike. Whenever Illuminator Virtuoso becomes the target of a spell you control, it connives, which is hopefully often. And then conniving is helping stock up our grave so we can cheat stuff out with Call a Surprise Witness. And we do have other ways to actually cheat stuff out of the grave, so Call a Surprise Witness is one of them, 3 of those total. We have a couple recommissions as well. This is a 2-mana sorcery speed. You return target artifact or creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. It's a creature card, then it gets a +1/+1 counter as well. Yeah, recommission is actually pretty good. Do we actually just want like 3 recommissions instead of the 3 Call a Surprise Witness and drop this down? Actually, I don't think so. I do think like the flying counter is going to go a lot further than a +1/+1 counter. However, since recommission can hit artifacts too, we do have an artifact here that we wouldn't mind cheating onto the board. Sword of Once in Future. 3-mana artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has protection from blue and black. I'll tell you what, that could go a long way, huh? Protection from black? No more Shieldred worries. So, excuse me, guys. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you surveil too. So another way to plug stuff into the grave. Then you may cast an instant or sorcery spell with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. If that spell would be put into your graveyard, you exile it instead, of course, and then the equip cost is only 2. Nice. Good stuff, man. Now, we do have more ways to plug stuff into the grave, like Guardian of New Benalia, all 4 of them. 2 mana, 2/2 with Enlist, and whenever it does enlist a creature, then you scry 2, okay? And we have this bottom ability, discard a card, Guardian of New Benalia, gains indestructible until end of turn, then you tap it. Unfortunately, there are a lot of exile effects floating about standard, so indestructible doesn't do as much as we would hope. Hopefully, it is enough to protect us against some go for the throats and stuff too. We also have to keep a watchful eye on the fact that that does tap this creature down too, so... Now we do have some protection spells packed in, like Valorous Stance, also opting for a little bit of removal with the Valorous Stance too. 2-mana instant speed, you get to choose one. Either target creature gets indestructible until end of turn, or you destroy target creature with toughness 4 or greater. Shieldred. How many times can we bring up Shieldred at the beginning of every video? All the times. Okay, we do have more removal with Get Lost as well. Note for myself, let's not forget that it also hits enchantments. It's a little silly because I choose Get Lost specifically because it can hit creature, enchantment, or planeswalker. That is great value, man. But then sometimes I forget that it can also hit enchantments, which is just super silly, dude. It just does so much. I wanted to note that for myself so I don't forget today. Now, its controller creates 2 map tokens. There may be a time where you target one of your own creatures. just to get the map tokens, just so you can explore a little bit, plug some stuff into the grave, buff up your Virtuoso with some counters or something on the map tokens. You never know. You could target Get Lost on the Guardian, give the Guardian indestructible, get a couple map tokens. Now it does tap down the Guardian, but like that might happen every now and then. You never know. It's in the list, so I thought I'd bring that up. And we have terrific 1-mana cards as well. Helping Hand, 3 of them. 1 mana sorcery speed, return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Okay, not bad, dude. So it does what these do, except, well, first of all, Call Surprise Witness says return target creature card from mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. It doesn't say anything about it coming out tapped, right? A Helping Hand does bring it out tapped, but it's only 1 mana, dude. It doesn't get any fancy counters either, so... Oh, a Recommission also does not say tapped. The only one that brings him back tapped is the Helping Hand. But still, 1 mana. Holy cow. Now we have 4 Homestead Courage. Best card in the deck? No, but seriously, it's going to go a long way because this is a great one to go ahead and discard because it has that flashback, so you never know. If you don't want to discard one of your creatures to like Guardian or the Connive on Virtuoso, then discarding a Homestead Courage is totally fine because of that flashback. And also since it targets cards like Virtuoso, then of course it pairs beautifully. Giving that extra counter, giving vigilance, everything about Homestead Courage is going to be terrific in here. We got 3 Loran's Escapes as a 1 mana instant speed. Target artifact or creature gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. And then you also get a Scry 1. And we have Miner's Guidewing here. I really struggled to figure out what 1 mana creature I wanted to include. So I opted for one that could potentially explore for us. That's a 1 mana 1/1 Flying Vigilance. All that is great. And then when it dies, target creature you control explores. Nice, good stuff, man. It's also not like a bad creature to go ahead and plug some extra counters with Homestead Courage or anything on, because Flying Vigilance is no joke, and eventually the opponent's going to want to remove it then, and then you'll get that Explore, plug stuff into your grave, all that fancy stuff too. Okay, the mana base. You guys totally don't have to run the Surveil land. There's nothing in here that has green. This could just be a plains easily. However, I just want to try one out. You never know. Like you play it, it comes out tapped. That might slow you down, but then you get that little Surveil, and I think Surveil is just like really good in general, and then like plugging something huge into the grave. I don't know. Yeah, I just want to try it out as a one of. And if you guys end up having like the Lush Portico, something... Whatever this forest plains name is, if you guys end up having one, then maybe try it out as well and see if it ends up just slowing you down too much and just drop it for a plains then at that point too. We'll see what it ends up doing today. Because I have a couple Seat of the Empires as just more removal and 21 total land, hopefully not being too much land, but I get a vibe from this deck that we're going to end up flooding out a lot for some reason. Honorable mentions over here. I thought about other removal like Glass Casket because eventually, like if you discard this, you could potentially bring it back with like Recommission since it's an artifact. That could be cool. And then since we have so many planes anyways and stuff and basic planes, Ossification would be an excellent piece of removal too. But I already went over why I opted for the Get Lost. So those are the honorable mentions. Okay, mini Reanimator mono white version. Let's go ahead, take it into some ranked and see how we do. We got right into that first game, guys. Let's go. A ton of people playing Magic right now. What am I expecting for the build? Dude, I have no clue. It should be fine. Okay, we go first. Okay. All right, we give this a shot. It might be a slow hand. We have none of our 3 drops to like discard to the Guardian. A ton of 3 drops to draw into. A ton of just great stuff in general to draw into. The triple mana, like we don't need any more land for like 5 to 10 turns, like legit. I think 3 mana's fine for a very long while. I'm assuming Virtuoso is going to get picked up right away, so we're going to get Guardian down for the sake of indestructible. And then when we go Virtuoso on turn 3, we'll have Loran's Escape open as protection. But Virtuoso was a very good draw. Potentially just like a cut down, holding the opponent up here, potentially. There they are. So 4 mana. For 4-color build so far. Ossification gets around the indestructible, easy peasy. Luckily, we have a setup with Virtuoso and everything next turn. A Monastery Mentor. Okay, we're going to stick with the setup with Virtuoso, though. Loran's Escape is open. So if it's like another Ossification or another Exile spell, at least we have that protection. It is Hexproof Indestructible. To go Briefcase, it looks like we might not even need it. Do we still play it for the sake of buffing Virtuoso? Probably not, since they have a chump blocker too. They still could go Ossification. You get the Scry. A little bit of an awkward turn then for us, since their removal hit a turn early. Alright, passes back. Seat of the Empire. I mean, now we can give the, have protection open for the Mentor as well. I think we start with the swing and see what happens. I'm pretty sure they chump, but they could easily take the 2. But they also don't know what's in hand. They don't know, like, what we are trying to pop off with over here. So I think they chump. Maybe they're thinking, like, yeah, no, I think this would be a chump, right? Because who knows what we could have for 3 open planes. They're double checking. They are going to let it go through. Yeah, no, we just let that. So Homestead Courage is sorcery speed. But like if we wanted to do extra damage, and that probably would have warranted the chump then, had we done Courage beforehand. But we wanted to see what happens because we wanted to see if we were going to set up with Monastery Mentor for the turn, which we're definitely going to here. Okay, sticking for the opponent, maybe it's just like a go for the throat, and they're thinking, do I try to remove this, or are they actually going to have protection? Or maybe the opponent ordered some pizza, and they're chowing down right now. I suppose that's possible too. They are going to attempt some removal here. At that point, as soon as they target, we'll go Loran's Escape and see what we see. And we might discard the Mentor then. That should be fine, because we have Call a Surprise Witness. Yeah, we definitely don't need more planes at this point. Getting a couple through. The Scry was good. So we'll go Seat of the Empire as a land. And then we do have Call a Surprise Witness, but now we don't have protection. So I can only imagine we're immediately going to lose the Mentor. Do we still do it on our turn anyways? Probably not, right? We wait. We keep the 3 open, because what we want with Mentor is to get around the spot removal by going wide as soon as possible. So on our turn, we go Call a Surprise Witness, double down on Homestead Courage, get a couple Prowess Monks off of the Mentor. Hopefully that's the goal, right? Again, Homestead Courage being sorcery, instead of instant, slows it down a little bit, because on the stack they could always go their instant speed goodies. Stomper Ramp, okay. Guys, we might be free to do whatever we want to do here. I don't think they swing with their 1/1. I'm pretty sure they save that as a chump blocker. I can't imagine this being anything other than just a Traxo domain, but you never know. Opponent grabs a forest, and it looks like they missed a land drop from their hand here too, so for 1, they don't keep that chump blocker back. I'm just going to take the 1. I'm not sure what Seat of the Empire is going to do in hand, but I think it's still worthwhile just keeping here. So we start with Call a Surprise Witness, bring back the Monastery Mentor. Then we go Homestead Courage on the Virtuoso. Remember, Stomper can't block here. Oh, Sunfall style build for sure, dude. For sure. I'm going to buff the Virtuoso as much as possible. I didn't even play a land yet this time. That's okay. We're going to save it back just in case we want to keep whatever's in hand. Mentor. Oh. We could go up to 5, swing for 10, and then we're just going to keep it at 4, ditch the plains, because if it is a Sunfall, oh, it's still going up to 5, so we could have brought it up to 6. It would have been a little bit of extra damage, but I think keeping the Mentor in hand, just in case they do have that Sunfall on time. Now, they don't have double white on the board. They now have double white on the board. Yeah, Sunfall would be brutal stuff, man. Even if we had our open protection, Sunfall gets around all of it. Gets around Indestructible easily, gets around Hexproof, of course. So it is gonna be a Sunfall, guys. Yeah, I mean, that happens. Now, Mentor comes down, but we have nothing to actually get more Prowess Monks with. So, Seat of the Empire in hand, 1 plains here, so 5, 7 of the 21 mana in the top 15. So not necessary. Yeah, no, I guess that's a little bit of a flood. But we might want to just consider at that point 20 mana then. As far as the first games go, though, more testing required, right? Like, we might be like really sweating to see our 3rd mana every now and then. Power up Incubator, great blocker on the ground. Showcasing why I valued the flying on the Call a Surprise Witness, right? That Sunfall was brutal stuff. They go for the swing. They are not scared about any potential explosive damage at all. Because, like, Prowess on the Monk, they must have spot removal in hand. It is going to be a Leyline Binding. No protection for the Mentor. This is going to be an uphill battle, guys. Guidewing isn't bad, though. The problem is that 6/6 has us on a clock now. And we can't do much about, like, Seat of the Empire doesn't hit a 6/6. Sunfall providing way too much value this game. The spot removals, like, the spot removal hit 2 of our things. We had protection for this one. But 3 pieces of spot removal in a Sunfall. Was there a way to get even more through with the Virtuoso? I don't think so. I don't think so. We didn't have too many cards after the fact that actually targeted more outside of the Homestead Courage. Yeah, it's not like we had a Valorous Stance or anything. Overall, the deck played out very nicely. Good stuff, man. Archangel. Oh, buddy. Well, I definitely want to see what's on top of the build. Either way, we die next turn. No, actually, we could keep Seat of the Empire to take out the Archangel, so we could potentially have 2 more turns here. Helping Hand. Darn the exile effects, huh? Oh, man. So Helping Hand would have been great, but most of our value stuff is exiled, so they'll have Seat of the Empire open to take care of the Archangel, luckily. That being said, there's no guarantees that they won't have something else that could potentially do the 1 damage. Like a second Archangel hit our face, for example. Just in case we survive, though, I really do want to see what's on top of our build. They go for the swing. Seat of the Empire, number 2, coming in handy. Are we going to get to see this card off the top? That's the question. Or is it going to be second Archangel? I feel like these domain builds do run 2 Archangel. Oh my goodness, it's an Archangel. Hey, good game, opponent. Wow, that was brutal stuff. I'll tell you what, if they missed that second Plains or if they missed that Sunfall, I think that was heavily leaning towards us. That 1 card just provided way too much value. And maybe there was a better way to actually play around the Sunfall too. Maybe if I would have had a little bit more patience and waited to bring back. I mean, they would have just waited on the Sunfall then. I don't know. You guys will have to let me know in the comments for sure. Is there a better way through that game? All right, opponent, what you bringing to the table, buddy? Some dragons, maybe? That would be fun. Okay, we keep this. This is great. A terrific hand. Going first was great, too. I'm going to try Virtuoso first, but if we think it's going to get burnt away, maybe not. Yeah, Guardian might be a better option then at that point. Well, sometimes the better option is greed. So let's attempt greed. See if Virtuoso gets picked up here. Immediately burnt. Lightning Helix. Oh boy. Oh boy. And we could always bring it back. So like, Helping Hand. Bring back Virtuoso, play the Guardian, get set up with two things here. Call a Surprise Witness for the Adeline that we discard to the Connive, right? Yeah, we're going to go all in. We're going all in, guys. Let's do this. And then hopefully Homestead Courage lands on that Virtuoso when it comes time. Oh, Brotherhood's End would be pretty bad. Okay. So we're going to discard the Adeline. Okay. Virtuoso's dead again, but that's not too bad for us, right? Right? I don't think so. So call a Surprise Witness before combat. It does affect the combat. We go ahead and grab Adeline, of course. Well, yeah, Adeline. And that's the one that affects the combat anyways. And then at this point, do we keep Homestead Courage in hand to give Indestructible to Guardian again? Probably, unfortunately, guys. That's rough, man. Huh, why is it giving me the enlist option? Oh, okay. Undeclared. So, it's just giving me the option anyways, is the thing. Alright, yep, like I said, we're going to keep that in hand for the Indestructible. Indestructible against, like, Boros Burn is really good. Ill-Tempered Loner. Oh, my goodness. Okay, well, we probably have a problem. Okay, that's pretty sick, opponent. Homestead Courage number 2. Just like plug all 4 into the Adeline and swing in the air a couple times. Probably not. But if we go like, see, if we go Homestead Courage onto the Guardian, we'd want to just not and just enlist the Guardian for the Scry. Scry 2 is probably a bit more important. My apologies, opponent. I'm thinking, buddy. And we don't want to get the Guardian above 4 because we don't want that to come back and hit the Adeline off the damage with the Loner. So I think it's enlist for the Scry. Oh, cancel. Sorry. Then discard a... Okay, so enlist, swing, right? Adeline in the air is wild stuff, man. Get that up to 3, create a 1/1. Don't need that. Valorous Stance. I think I'm just looking for more damage, but like giving Indestructible to the Adeline when it comes time. Is my Adeline just going to die next turn anyways is the question. Yeah, we should look for things that are maximizing our damage output. How do you guys feel about that? They end up just blocking a 1/1. They don't want to trade away the Loner by any means. Okay. And then they can poke the other 1/1's the thing. And that's definitely what they do there. Get the other 1/1 off the board. Do I still keep both Homestead Courages in hand for the discard when it comes time? Probably. I don't think we want to play either of these right now. Oh, it switches to nighttime though, dude. Oh, crap. So now if they... Okay. Well, if they had like another creature on the board, like if they played like a 2-mana creature and then went Brotherhood's End, we would just be devastated. Okay, Brotherhood's End. So I suppose we start by protecting Guardian again. And Adeline's going to die here anyways. And since we switched it to nighttime, their creature doesn't die, which is really rough. Because then they go 3 onto the Adeline, make sure that's out of the equation. I shouldn't have let it switch to nighttime. Oh, no. Oh, no. So if I would have just played one of the Courages, we still would have had the one open, and it wouldn't have been nighttime. And then their Brotherhood's End actually would have hit that too. So getting Guardian above, getting it to tie with the 4, they might decide to trade. Loran's Escape, and if they go for the trade, like we go Indestructible regardless, but we would just play the Loran's Escape. right? Instead of going for the discard, but then we won't have a discard on their turn. Oh no, guys, we're in trouble. And we're fizzling out slowly but surely. So I should have maybe given the indestructible by discarding the Homestead Courage and then played the Homestead Courage from the grave to have the Loran's Escape still remaining, right? But let's see what they end up doing. I think they end up taking the 5 here. And if they end up taking the 5, then we'll still have indestructible on their turn for a bigger threat. They do go for the block, unfortunately. So the 4 dies and we wait for them to target the Guardian because we don't want them to target our face. So they do end up activating that now. So we are just going to go for the Loran's Escape, make sure that this survives. And now they do get a chance to target our face. We should keep that in case they play another Avenger. Yeah, so they target our face for 5. So since the attack was going to kill it, we had to do it beforehand anyways. Come on, Guardian. Survive the turn, buddy. Survive the turn. I believe in you, Guardian. No, burn down the house. Okay, well, get lost at the very... It switches right back to nighttime. If they go for another ill-tempered loner. Barbed Servitor? Guys, that has indestructible. Oh, no. Get lost, not doing anything. Dude, really just... really, really awkward lines for us. So what else does this do? So they suspected it. So it has Menace, can't block. Oh, it can't block. That's good. So when it deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card, lose 1 life. Whenever Barb's Servitor is dealt damage, target opponent loses that much life. Oh, what a sick deck opponent. Dude, nice. Holy cow. I'm just going to go for Adeline. I think we're super dead, but like, you know, if we wanted a chance of survival, we would want to go Guardian back, but I think, I don't know about this one, guys. Angel Fire Ignition. Holy cow. Oh, the indestructible on that's so good. The get lost is just super awkward. It has Vigilance for the turn too, because Angel Fire Ignition is actually pretty gnarly. So I guess that's that. Yeah, Menace, Vigilance, Trample, Lifelink, Haste, and the Menace gets around our 1 Adeline. So they gain some, they lose some. Luckily, it can't block, but... Okay, Guardian. Not bad. And Get Lost still open, like, isn't a terrible thing, and maybe we just end up giving, like... Sheoldred's Edict. Oh. Oh no. Oh no, guys. Adeline's out of the equation. Bro. Dude. Okay, we're gonna keep the Guardian. Oh, we're just like we're in danger, dude. Because they can go ahead and they can go Angel Fire Ignition back from the grave again. They gain even more life. The Menace still gets around our 1 creature. Really cool deck from the opponent, though. And then just like really awkward setups. The big play, man, was me letting it get to nighttime. That was the big mistake of this game, I would say, right? Just because of how the damage ended up lining up and what we had to do after it actually got to nighttime as well. And then, like, I guess getting the Get Lost was just a few turns too late at that point, too. Oh, buddy. Oh, I really like the opponent's deck, though. Yeah, Get Lost not doing too much else. We might as well protect the Guardian. It does tap it down, though, and that's why the opponent would wait for our turn to attempt that. Virtuoso. See, with all that life gain they got, I can't imagine being explosive enough to actually get that 17 damage through here. But I suppose you never know. We're on a 2-turn clock regardless. And the opponent probably has even more stuff to burn anyways. Our Flame Duelist. What do you guys think about the opponent's list? How does that work with the Lightning Helix? Yeah, since Lightning Helix would get the life gain, they would gain 6, right? On the Heart Flame Duelist ability. Instant and sorcery spells you control. Oh, and they go Strangle onto the Barb Surveyor to get that swing. Dude, massive props to the opponent for just an incredibly cool list. Now I know over in the Discord, hold on, let me view the battlefield. I know the Barbed Servitor, I know this was dropped over in the Discord at some point, but I kind of completely overlooked the fact that it pairs so nicely in a deck styled with Ill-Tempered Loner, right? Like, how cool was that? And then since they splash in black in essentially a Boros list, they might as well have some excellent pieces of removal packed in, like Sheoldred's Edict. Yeah, dude, the opponent's deck, like, I would call that jank just because it's so off meta, but that looked really stacked, didn't it? Okay, we're about 30 minutes in already. Guys, we gotta do the thing. We gotta do the thing more than the thing is doing. So let's keep the ball rolling here. Right now, it feels like things are just happening out of order. Now, how often are things going to happen out of order? That's the question, right? Is it going to happen all the time? At that point, that would just be like the deck's fault and how it's put together with the curve and everything. Or is it just happening right now? Are we getting potentially just a little unlucky with how we're drawing in the ordering? That's a great question. Let me know in the comments, right? Got Illuminator Virtuoso for turn 2, and then the big question that we've been asking every single time is it going to die right away? Against mono red? Yeah, it's probably going to die right away. Oh, and so Guardian of New Benalia is the more solid 2-drop to try. With Homestead Courage able to discard here, that's beautiful for us. Oh yeah, we are definitely given that, and we will definitely discard Homestead Courage, right? Well, not yet. Let's go Mentor instead, because we might see something to bring the Mentor back from the top. That's 3 that's not hitting our face, and we get to keep the creature. Now, it does tap down, so it can't block the Swift Spear, but that's totally fine. A relatively slow turn for mono red, which is so good for us. All right, that's a Plains. Mentor dies immediately. We know that. We know that for sure. So we're going to go Virtuoso. We have the Plains to discard for that. Go for the Connive for the turn? Or go on to the Guardian? I'm going to go Connive because we could get the Virtuoso above a Play with Fire. We do not, unfortunately, but that's okay. That's totally fine. Go for the swing, because I don't plan on blocking with this, and we have 2 targets on the board that they really just would not mind hitting at all. So getting the Virtuoso above Play with Fire would have been nice, so anything other than a plane. So that's another thing in the final thoughts we might have to talk about going down. Yeah, no, we should activate that. We should definitely... I was just double checking. Yeah, Nahiri's Warcrafting does not get around the Indestructible. Like the one that has affinity for equipment does. They go for the swing. Relatively slow turns for mono red, guys. So... But now we don't have the 4th when it comes time. Oh, Recommission. Dude, all right. Yeah. Oh, we do that before the Homestead Courage, too. Monastery Mentor. Homestead Courage, Virtuoso. Jeez, bro. This could be really, really good for us. Helping Hand? Ditch the Mentor then, right? All right. Look at this swing, dude. We're going for it. Getting there against mono red will feel really good. They definitely need something excellent, something explosive. 4 mana, I suppose it could be like, what, like Swift Spear, Monstrous Rage. They go for the Mentor. Okay. Over the Virtuoso there. They had a clean hit on the double strike Virtuoso, but Mentor going wide was the priority. Mainly, yeah, they get to see the top 2, so they do get to play something. Oh, they grab Lightning Strike, and they don't have a mana. They don't have a great swing with the Swift Spear now either because Virtuoso blocks so well because of the Vigilance. So all that's pretty rough, huh? We do everything. Yeah, we just do everything. Prowess comes back, and then we gonna be forced to block there, so we'll go Guardian, right? Prowess, Prowess. More monks. Oh, I hope they let us swing. We'll go on to the Prowess this time too. Full swing. Let's go. They are forced to block the double strike, and they take 8 anyways. Oh, and the double strike gets through. Yeah, anywhere they would have blocked, the damage would have happened, which is pretty wild stuff. If they blocked the Virtuoso, the 8 was still getting through. Jeez, bro. Well, that's what the deck is supposed to be doing, huh? That was sick, man. All right, we gotta do that again, so that way we can also end on a high note, huh? Because I'm not done quite yet. We gotta keep the ball rolling. One more. Prize Witness. Mono white mini Reanimator. Just the last time we played mini Reanimator, it was Esper. And this time around trying out mono white. It's a really neat concept, dude. It really is. And when it plays out, like it really plays out, like that totally did a thing there. Uh-oh. See, like it kind of felt like a flood for a little bit, and now we got that one plains and nothing else, and the opponent goes first. And like Loran's Escape obviously not doing anything for the first couple turns. Yeah, we got them all again. All right, we'll keep 6 and send a plains. Yeah, that was, now we have a much better hand. Okay, Monastery Mentor. Get the Guidewing down. I wonder if Guidewing, how has Guidewing been in these matches? It's been fine, right? Really hard to decide like what 1-drop to go in here. Red Knight for the draw, huh? Okay. Seat's gonna come down. Guardian's gonna come down, but I'm gonna swing first. Good practice. Guardian of New Benalia. Yeah, they go Preacher. That's a great blocker for them. Land off the top might not even be a Monastery Mentor turn. Oh, sort of once in future. So Guardian. So we go Homestead Courage onto Guardian. Then we have Loran's Escape here too. But we go Enlist. And we enlist the Guidewing. Scry 2. We're looking for a land. Oh. See, two more 3-drops we actually have to send. We can't play any of them. I wouldn't mind seeing them, but we need more mana, so. Now, we have the ability on Guardian to give it Indestructible. They're going to go ahead and just take it. They know we can give it Indestructible. But now we also have Loran's Escape open to protect it on their turn as well. Which, of course, the Hexproof could really come in handy as well, depending on, on the exile removal that they're playing. Plains on top. Very nice. The importance of Scry, huh? I'll tell you what. We do have the block, but unfortunately just like nothing else. It doesn't kill the Preacher of the Schism. Okay, my turn. Plains. They got a chump blocker on the ground now, which definitely sucks, but it's probably like if we set up for sort of once in future. Okay, they're gonna probably chump, right? Take the Guidewing in the air. We could just get second Guardian down. That's not bad. But I'm thinking it's gonna be sort of once in future, man. The Prowess wouldn't be bad to get off on that too. Let's see where they block. I don't think it's Homestead Courage right now. I think we take the turn to set up. They do go for the chump, going down to 13. Sort of once in future is pretty wild. They might have a rough time with that protection, man. Protection from blue and black. This permanent can be blocked, targeted, dealt damage, enchanted, or equipped by anything black. They have a second Terra Sunder. Oh no, my Guardian. Yeah, that gets around the indestructible, but hey, they spent 4 mana to do that, so... Okay. Okay, Get Lost. At least that'll take care of the Preacher of the Schism. This card has been a nightmare for me, dude. I've been having a lot of issues actually removing it off the board. So the equip cost is 2. We could totally just go Homestead Courage. Hopefully that was their only 2 Terra Sunders. Homestead Courage, buff the Guidewing, swing in the air, and just try to do that. I'm going to continuously create these little vampires on the ground. I think that's what we do, though. Hopefully that was their only 2 Terra Sunders. It says Vigilance, too, so it does end up blocking the Preacher of the Schism really well here. If we keep 1 Plains... we could go Guardian and have Get Lost open on the same turn. Okay. I'm going to say that's fine. Oh, we get to cast the Loran's Escape for free. Can I decline for the turn? We got another Scry. I'd rather save that for like next turn, right? So we actually can get the Scry through with the Loran's Escape. Sheoldred's Edict. No, that gets around it so effectively, guys. Oh, we don't get the Explore either because we don't have any creatures. Darn, the opponent's removal on point this game, huh? The opponent's removal really good. That will get around the indestructible when it comes time on the Guardian too. So Guardian, we could equip the sword. This Preacher of the Schism is such a problem, dude, and Dread Knight now blocks effectively for the sword. Alright, I think we're going to do that instead of the Get Lost, but we'll see, ditching the Mentor for Indestructible wouldn't be terrible either. Yeah, Golgari just having a wide array, there we go, of removal is pretty rough. Gix's Command. No, guys, our Guardian. Oh no, the lifelink on this too. Opponent's deck was designed to take care of all of our protection. Oh no, down to 6. We are in big trouble. Mentor, Get Lost. We're at... Yeah, we have to hit the Dread Knight. Right? We're forced to hit the Dread Knight to survive 1 turn. We can't even play the Mentor because we don't have enough mana. They're gonna go ahead and save some back, actually. So we still have to hit the Dread Knight, unfortunately, because it is a 5/4 thanks to the Gix's Command here. They do get to recast this, like I said, unfortunately, right? This is really bad. They get so much extra value because we had to target this, because they get the map tokens too, and they can use both of those onto their 1/1s, for example. Dread Knight, draw. They could play the Dread Knight again, and they still have enough mana for open removal, or they could totally use those map tokens that we just gave them. Man, that was kind of wild how well that lined up for the opponent. This is 4 cards that gets around our indestructible nonsense. Hey, Recommission. All right, dude. Pretty good. Guardian. Unfortunately, we don't have anything better in the grave. But like still, that's pretty good. So I suppose it would be Guardian, right? And then we would go ahead and plug that onto the Guardian. Either way, we're dead from the wide swing. The double Mentor's not getting a chance to do anything because usually we want to get that into the grave. Liliana goes for the sacrifice, getting around that indestructible. Dude. Dude. A good game opponent, first of all. I'm activating that just for the sake of activating it. That was a lot. That was a lot. I wonder what the opponent's running into, where they're like, hey, there's too many indestructible creatures right now. I have to make sure I can hit all of them. Or, like, that kind of showcases just the type of removal that's being played in Standard right now, too. I bet they weren't even thinking twice about getting around indestructible because realistically, there's not a whole lot of it. For that matter, there's not a whole lot of protection floating about standard either. Like there's a lot packed in, but not a lot of people are playing with it. You know what I mean? And that, like, of course, it's a Liliana style build, so I shouldn't be surprised. But man, that was something else, huh? We didn't even get to keep a blocker for the last turn that we were gonna die. Okay, guys, here's the deck list again. Hey, what's that? Ooh, I gotta build around that. I don't know. Out of all the cards that I didn't craft 4 of yet, right? Out of all the cards I didn't build around yet, a Flourishing Bloomkin gets +1/+1 for each forest you control. You guys know I love abilities like that. Oh, man. Well, I got my second one, apparently. That's funny. I'll obviously be crafting the rest of those and trying it out soon. Okay, here's the deck list again, guys. Woo! Kind of felt like it had a rough time, huh? A Recommission, Call the Surprise Witness, Helping Hand, all of these really did the thing when it came time. So 8 of these abilities, is that too much? No, I actually think that's totally fine. And having that nice wide variety of the abilities, instead of just like, for example, having 4 of each of these, or yeah, like dropping the Helping Hand, going up to 2 commissions and a Call a Surprise Witness, having that variety just seems a little bit better. Every now and then, you're only going to have that 1 mana open anyways, so that seems pretty key. Did we get to see this Lush Portico? Jeez, guys, send help. Did we get to see this Lush, however we pronounce that, let me know in the comments, right? 2 times this video. I thought maybe the second attempt would be a little bit better, but no, it wasn't. We didn't get to see this today. I still think the Surveil would be worth it. And like I said, if you guys have it, give it a shot. Let me know. Does the Surveil actually work out, or does this land just end up slowing us down too much anyways? But that being said, like just having more ways to plug stuff into the grave would totally be fine. Guardian felt like an MVP today, but then the opponents had a ton of ways to remove it anyways. So MVP, but like a weak one? I don't know. Like Guardian of New Benalia is actually just like a really strong creature too. And when you end up enlisting it, getting that scry too is absolutely huge as well. So yeah, I don't know. Valorous Stance, man, where were you when we had to take care of that Preacher of the Schism? It was hiding in the build because we got Get Lost instead, and then we ended up not valuing the Get Lost removal onto the Preacher in time, and so they ended up going wide pretty well. Even if we did value taking that out of the equation, I think that was going to start leaning towards the opponent in no time, guys. And in no time, like everything in this deck would have been picked apart by all those sacrifice abilities, and it was picked apart by the Tear Asunder exile abilities as well. It's too bad that they saw that second Tear Asunder, because maybe we would have been able to pull ahead, right? Because hitting that first Tear Asunder with the Loran's Escape with that hexproof was huge for us, man. Then the scry on the Loran's Escape happens to be really good too. Homestead Courage is excellent, an excellent way to just plug that extra damage through all the time, all while buffing up that Illuminator Virtuoso, and getting the discard with the Connive on the Virtuoso is really good too. But what did you guys think about the Miner's Guidewing? Is there a better 1-drop that we could replace this with? Let me know for sure. I wonder what it would be. And then we didn't get to see Delney Streetwise Lookout either. Oh, man. That's another thing I didn't really go over when we went over the deck, was like if the Guidewing dies, you would explore twice onto a creature if you had Delney on the board, which is really sick too. The Sword in Once and Future, I was like, oh man, this is going to get us there, guys. And nope, too many sacrifice effects getting around that protection, unfortunately. Would we drop this potentially? Maybe. I still really like, at the very least, trying it out. The fact that you can get that damage through, like, yeah, like plugging it on the Guidewing, even if you're up against like mono red, right? You're up against mono red, and you plug the Sword of Once and Future onto the Guidewing. Now it's a 3/3 flying with Vigilance, maybe further if you had the buff with Homestead Courage like we did in that match. We had a 4/4. It has that Vigilance already, so it's going to be a terrific blocker for the rest of the game. You're getting that damage through, which means you get that Surveil, which means you get to cast that free card, which means you might get like a free Get Lost, or you might get a free Helping Hand, Call a Surprise Witness, Recommission. You might get something back really powerful for free, like a Monastery Mentor. Oh man, so many really just neat synergies packed in here, huh? Adeline seemed excellent. Like, how cool was it to give Adeline flying off the Call of Surprise Witness? Really cool. Definitely worth the 3 Call of Surprise Witness for sure. What do you guys think? Okay, guys, I had a lot to say about this one, huh? Enough rambling, though. Oh, wait, one more ramble. Seat of the Empire as a 2 of. I liked it. In certain builds, like, it's not going to hold you up being a legendary land because more often than not, you're just looking for more removal anyways. Not a lot of legendary creatures packed in, but between Adeline and Delney, there's going to be moments where you get this down to 2 anyways, and then it happens to be really good removal, especially against certain decks. I'm looking like at mono blue and stuff, so... Anyways, okay, now enough rambling, huh? If you guys made it this far into the video for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you. Make sure you check out that description for the Discord link. That's a great place for the community just to chat and drop deck lists and drop suggestions for me to eventually try out here on the channel. And we also have that Patreon link. Speaking of suggestions, right? That's the best way to guarantee that your suggestion gets played on the channel. So if you're interested in supporting the channel that way, we got that Patreon link down in the description as well. Okay, guys. Yeah, if you made it this far into the video, y'all are champions for real. And I will see you in the next video.